Welcome to this week's episode of Commerce Central. It is, what is today? I don't even know the day.
Today's, hold on, I got you.
It's
May
Wednesday,
2nd.
May the
3rd.
It's not Wednesday, it's
Sorry,
Tuesday.
today's Tuesday.
What did I say?
Well, all right,
You
so
said the second. He said
our viewers are watching this on Wednesday, May the 4th. So, therefore, may the 4th be with you, everybody. I did it.
Okay.
Ben Luna will appreciate that joke. I hope he does anyway. So this week we want to talk tourism with Emma, who's our marketing manager. And if you haven't noticed, we have now launched a new tourism brand, Visit Lawrenceburg. So
Visit Lawrenceburg.
Yeah.
Welcome to Lawrenceburg,
welcome to
Tennessee.
Lawrenceburg. Absolutely. So before we get into that, let's talk about our tourism industry real fast.
Okay.
So tourists spend just under $20 million in our community every year. So it's a very big part of our economy. Really, when you think about the multiplier effect of what tourists spend, it actually generates almost $40 million of economic activity in our community and supports more than 340 jobs, actually 348 jobs to be exact.
Yeah.
And so our hospitality tourism industry is very strong in our community, and what we've learned through the brands, and I may be stealing some of Emma's thunder here, so I apologize, but we market 5 things in our community. We market our attractions and our experiences, and our attractions being David Crockett State Park, Tennessee's Amish country, and outdoor adventure tourism. So when I say outdoor adventure, think about things such as Thunder Hill, Wheeling in the Country, Shoal Creek, Laurel Hill, things outside.
Speedway and all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have, of course, the experiences, which family experiences, like things you do downtown, the mom and pop restaurants, mom and pop shops, things you can only experience here. Annual events are also on that list. So Middle Tennessee District Fair, Crossroads of Dixie Antique Tractor Show. I mean, there's just so much going on all the time. And so we needed a brand that represented all the county, represented those 5 things, and I think we did that. It took a little bit, but we got there. So tell us, Emma, about our new brand.
Okay, so our new brand represents all of Lawrence County, every city in Lawrence County, but we are focusing on Lawrenceburg, just so that we can highlight the major points. And there are 3 things that were chosen to represent Lawrence County and Visit Lawrenceburg, and that's tradition, music, and adventure.
Right.
So we have a logo. Well, we have 3 logos, kind of. But one of them lays out tradition, music, and adventure. And those words were chosen because Lawrence County is home to tradition, many annual events, like Ryan said, the fair, rodeos, festivals, car shows that take place every year.
Yeah.
And so year after year, we know that those are constant. And then music, we have the Crockett Theater, and every year, every July, the James D. Vaughn Quartet Festival takes place here. And James D. Vaughn established Lawrenceburg as the birthplace of Southern gospel music back in the early 1900s.
That's right. But he also did something else, which is interesting. He had a music school here for a number of years. And again, this is where I'm like the history nerd, like Ben's face. I hope you can cut to that in the episode. Sorry, I just took over Emma's speech. But,
okay.
A little known fact is Lawrenceburg is actually the home of the first commercial radio station in the state of Tennessee,
That
too.
is true.
So, and that was all James D. Vaughn. So we celebrate him with our music heritage. But music heritage is cool. But what about experiences we have today, right?
Right.
There's live music at restaurants wherever you're at throughout Lawrence County. You could be in the south end, you can be in the north end, you can be in Lawrenceburg. Live music all the time. Tennessee being a music destination, and we've established ourselves as a music destination between
The Shoals in Nashville.
Awesome.
It's like Michelle said a couple weeks ago on the Downtown podcast that y'all did with her. Lawrenceburg is working to be the live music bridge between Nashville and the Shoals.
Yeah.
So we're getting there. And then adventure, like Ryan said, that's kind of where we thrive because we've got David Crockett State Park, Laurel Hill,
right.
Shoal Creek, all the speedways, the motorsports, Wheeling in the Country. So there's endless opportunities for anybody who's looking
Right.
to just get out there and find adventure. Now we can talk about the logo.
Yeah, the logo itself. And so you mentioned there's one logo, there's 3 kind of variations, and there's
Yeah.
the standalone icon, which is kind of like, I like to call it like the compass quilt. So tell us about that.
Okay, I'm going to read what this says because it's a great story.
Okay.
Okay, so the symbol that tops Lawrenceburg can be representative of a compass, a wagon wheel, a barn quilt, or even a rising sun. Our pioneer spirit and adventurous nature might be represented by the wagon wheel or compass. The quilt pattern represents the great quality of life and family values that we treasure in Lawrence County. And the rising sun represents outdoor adventure and the natural beauty visitors can experience here. The colors of the logo are orange, blue, and yellow intentionally because they are earthy tones that will entice visitors to experience our way of life. Orange represents youth, playfulness, and boldness. Blue is associated with peace, tranquility, and reliability. And yellow is fun, energetic, and inspires creative thinking. And like we said, there's 2 different variations of the logo. One that's horizontal that denotes tradition, music, and adventure. And then the stacked logo kind of identifies us within Tennessee.
Yeah. And so that's what is so interesting about this logo. It's very simple, but it's very thoughtful at the same time. And I hope that we are, accurately representing, one, the values that we hold, the things we're trying to market, and also in an attractive way, right? Like, and it's going to be recognizable.
Right, yeah.
So how do people find this, or find more out? Oh my goodness. How do people find out more about Visit Lawrenceburg? Where can they find information about visiting here or just about the brand generally?
So this brand really is just alive online at visitlawrenceburg.com and on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest at Visit Lawrenceburg TN. And it's like Ryan said, like, we do all these things, but we want to showcase these things online, and we want people that live here to also be our brand ambassadors, to like, to share, to invite your friends, to see what we really do have to offer here in Lawrence County.
Yeah. But there's always more to than just like, rather than the online stuff, there's so much offline that people don't understand that we do, that we may not necessarily put online, that is still available.
Yeah. See, so word of mouth is still like one of the best marketing tools for any destination marketing organization. And it's little things, right? Whether it's like, hey, I had a really good experience at the cabin at David Crockett State Park, or hey, there was a great Airbnb down in Loretto, or
stuff like the hidden gems. But like you were saying at the brand launch too, though, it's Lawrenceburg, Tennessee is the logo. We have multiple variations of it. However, it's really awesome to know that we have those other cities supporting this logo. I understand that it's not their town, but everyone collectively supports the logo and think it's a great idea, and it looks phenomenal.
Well, and just so people watching and kind of understand the thought behind it, a tourism marketing logo is an external marketing piece. So tourism is about getting visitors to come and experience our community. And as an example, and when we talked about it among a committee, it was the common thread came back to when you go to Nashville, they don't say come visit Davidson County, or when you go down to the Shoals, you don't say we're going to visit Lauderdale County or Colbert County. Right. When you go to Franklin, it's not we're going to Williamson County. And so we had to really make sure we were thinking about the customer in this situation, right. And we think that's going to help take us to the next level. But with you, like you said, we had input from businesses in Etheridge, Mayor Turner in Loretto, Ranger Rachel Lee from the state park. We also had Sissy Garner representing the city of Lawrenceburg. And so it really was a county-wide effort. TR said it very well when we launched, as did Jesse and Blake as well. And so that's the thing. It was cool to see so much support. There was a lot of emotion in the room that day.
There was. You could feel it. And my favorite thing was when Jesse was talking about his grandmother and how she always used to have these quilts, and he watched her put together quilts, and he was talking about putting patches of a quilt together. He said they all have rough edges, but when you put them together is one that it's smooth and it looks great. And he felt like that's what this logo represented, is every city in this community, they may have rough patches or places where they're lacking and the other place fulfills. And that's what this tourism brand, that's what we want it to represent.
That's right.
Well, everyone realizes that everyone in the county will benefit from that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It's a centralized brand. However, it bleeds out to the entire county.
Yeah.
So
that's the beauty of it. So Emma is the face of Visit Lawrenceburg. She's also the face of the Lawco TN, the Chamber brand. So just so you know, Lawco isn't going anywhere. We're going to have the square, my lapel pin. We are known as Lawco, and it's actually funny to look across the state. Other counties are like, Robco, Wilco, and they're doing the same thing. And so that's really cool. That works for a chamber, but again, people don't come visit Lawco. They want to come visit a place, and a place that is together, that you can market as a whole, and
Right.
and we're proud of it. And again, long time coming. So Emma's the face of it, but just so you know, we're going to be measuring the metrics behind it. You know, in just a few days, we've gotten almost 600 likes.
Almost 600 likes.
And on Facebook, that's really exciting. And again, another way we're going to be able to measure this long term is let's make sure we're tracking the visitation of the state park. What are we doing about the economic impact of the state park specifically? It's a little bit harder to measure Amish country. You know, they don't take credit cards, and that's a major metric we use.
Yeah.
With that said, we will also be partnering with people like the state of Tennessee, who release annually an economic impact report. We'll be making sure we're getting more tourist dollars here. And then who else are we going to partner with in launching this and getting this out there?
So I think like Ryan said, it's a big deal to note that we have state and regional partners that we work with that are in the tourism industry. Those are Experience Tennessee, Ryan French with Experience Tennessee, the Tennessee Department of Tourism, and Nashville's Big Backyard. We've been working with Nashville's Big Backyard for the last 2.5
years now, yeah.
And what Nashville's Big Backyard does and stands for is great, and they've already highlighted so many of our assets that we have here. But we'll be working with all three of them to help spread the word and just expand our reach across the state.
Yeah. Well, it's a big deal. So make sure you follow Visit Lawrenceburg TN on all social media channels we mentioned. Be on the lookout for more information about our tourism industry. And I'll say this, if you're listed on our tourism website at visitlawrenceburg.com and you need some support from the chamber to help you, whether it's get pictures or media, give us a shout. We'd love to work with you in that. But we, of course, have a tradition here at Commerce Central, and it's word of the day. But we're going to give it to Ben today.
I knew it. I knew it. And I actually have a word.
Do you?
Hey.
Yeah, and it goes with the whole entire thing. You're going to be like, oh, that's branding.
Branding. Why that word? Other than
Because it's crucial to everything that anyone ever does.
Yeah.
Personal brand or company brand.
Yep.
That's your image. And if you don't have that first, then odds are you're not going to get anybody to be interested in whatever you're offering or who you are or whatever. So I think, and branding's always been a big deal to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, branding.
I like it. You know, there's a phrase, build it and they will come. And if I learned anything from Nashville's Big Backyard and something that we're going to see, I think, in Visit Lawrenceburg is brand it and they will come.
Yes.
So we're very excited to do that. So good word.
Let's go.
Look at you being all,
good job.
Come on now.
expecting it. It's no fun that you were expecting it.
Oh, I knew you were on team up. Y'all are on that side of the table. I'm on this side of the table. I knew you were going to team up on me.
That's awesome. Well, thank y'all for joining us on this week's episode of Commerce Central. We'll see you next week for hopefully a golf tournament recap.
Yeah.